Booktube, Science Fiction Reads here. Today, doing something a little different, gonna do my first book tag. This is the Astounding Science Fiction tag, created by Michael K. Vaughan, who I will leave a link to. I'll also leave a link to Read by Fred, who recently did this tag, and that's how I came across it. So it's 8 questions, science fiction related. First question, what was the first science fiction book that you read, and what did you think of it? I don't remember, but I have narrowed it down. It was either The Forever War by Joe Haldeman, or it was Revelation Space by Alistair Reynolds. I think I read this first, but I can't remember. When I decided to try science fiction, I bought 5 books. These were 2 of them. I know one of these was the first. What did I think of them? I thought they were both awesome. They blew me away because I had never read anything like it before, but what I really enjoyed about them was how they both played with time dilation as a result of space travel, which was something I understood but had never really thought about. So with Alistair Reynolds, you have 3 characters in 3 different periods, and I was wondering the whole time, like, what did these have to do with each other? They're all occurring years apart, but by the end of the book, due to space travel, we're all in the same place at the same time, which I thought was really neat. And the Forever War does that too. Now this I've only read once, and like I said, it was the first or second book I read, so I read this back in 2015. I remember almost nothing, but I do remember the time dilation near the end, where either the main character or his wife or someone went back and forth in a spaceship just to live out the years so they could meet up again at the same time, something like that. And it just blew me away. I was like, wow, I love that. I love that whole idea. So I was hooked pretty much from the start. Second question, what was the last science fiction book that you read, and what did you think of it? Well, that would be The Best of Cordwainer Smith. I'm not going to spend really any time talking about it because I've been raving about Smith for my last few videos. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I just got his collected works, The Rediscovery of Man, right there. So that's what I read most recently and absolutely loved it. Question 3, if you love science fiction, what made you love science fiction? I've always liked science fiction, but in a weird way. I liked the Star Wars movies, but I was never a die-hard fan. I just liked the CGI and the space scenes. I did not really care for the rest of it. Same with most science fiction movies. I would enjoy them, but there was always something missing. Even with documentaries, like documentaries about the universe or planets and stuff, I'd always enjoy them, but I felt like there's something missing. And then I forget, this would have been maybe 2011 or 2012. I randomly started reading Stephen King's The Dark Tower series, and I read all 7 books and I quite enjoyed it, but after reflecting on it for a while, I realized my favorite parts were the science fiction elements, and that's what got me thinking maybe I should try science fiction books. And I read some science fiction and I was like, oh, that's what I like, that's what was missing. Like, this is the medium for me when it comes to science fiction. So I don't know, earlier, I guess I just always liked science fiction. I don't know how it all started, but certainly the Dark Tower series, in a weird way, started me on my whole science fiction literature journey. Question 4, what is your favorite science fiction movie? I think I would just go with like the 70s Fantastic Planet, that French animated film that's trippy as hell. Giant blue humanoid aliens who come to Earth, pick up some humans, bring them back to their planet, and basically consider humans as pets. And I think there's humans living in the wild that are now and then hunted down and killed to maintain the human population. Certainly, if I had to pick a science fiction movie to watch, that would probably be the one. Question 5, what is your favorite science fiction TV show? Again, I like realism, even though for the movie I chose the animated 70s movie, which is not realistic, but I'd probably go with The Expanse because the realism portraying space travel is awesome. like the way the ships are laid out, where you're actually standing with your head pointing toward the direction you're traveling, because that's the way that, you know, the physics is working. You're actually walking that way. So the spaceships are really just a series of levels with a ladder going up the middle. And you've got attitude thrusters, so you always see little jets of air as they readjust their orientation. I like that. I would say The Expanse. It's got awesome CGI and all that. And the physics is, for the most part, realistic. Question 6. What science fiction book do you feel should be read more often? I'm going with Tristan Palmgren's Quietus, and the sequel, Terminus. I won't speak too much about these because I do have one book review on this channel so far, and it's about this because it's awesome. Really well written, feels like Ian M. Banks' Culture Agents and sometimes like Neil Asher's Polity Agents and stuff. In a way, it's a historical fiction. It's advanced humans, I guess they're humans, from another plane of existence, operating in Earth's past in the 1300s during the Black Plague. And that's all I'll say about it, but it is very well written, well researched. I wish that he wrote more. I just looked him up. He's written, since this duology, he's written a few books, but they're all like Marvel Universe related, which is not my thing. Here we have a great opportunity for an expanded universe. Like these books both take place in the same universe, featuring some of the same characters, but it's really fleshed out, and we've barely even touched, like we've only been in one small area of this universe, which is Earth. But it's great world building. I love this book. I've read it twice now. Question 7. What is your favorite science fiction short story? I have no idea. I've read so many, but one that always comes to mind, and one of the first I read, so it obviously made an impact, is in this the science fiction Roll of Honor book edited by Frederick Pohl, and it's The Last Question by Isaac Asimov. I'm just gonna look up when that particular story was actually published, because I actually don't know. Yeah, The Last Question by Isaac Asimov, 1956. So this probably appeared in a magazine of some sort. Obviously, it's a short story. I don't know where it first appeared, but I came across it in this, and it's a very short story. It's like 12 pages. It's, I think, 7 glimpses of humanity's future, where you've just got different people from different periods of humanity's future asking basically the AI that governs human society the same question over the years, which is there anything we can do to stop the entropy of the universe? Like, can we stop the decay of the universe? Can we prevent all the stars from burning out? And the computer always says the same thing. At this time, not enough data for a sufficient answer. So it's kind of like humanity's unanswered question throughout, believe it or not, 10 trillion years. By the end, we're not human anymore. We're like bodiless minds flying around the cosmos. But there's a lot of ideas packed in this very short story, and just a lot of glimpses of different forms, both physically and society-wise, that humanity can take part in. And I just liked how it ended. It really reminded me of Stephen Baxter, the ending anyway, kind of. Yeah, Stephen Baxter-ish. So I'd say The Last Question by Isaac Asimov is probably my favorite short story, or at least the one I think about a lot, that comes into mind a lot. All right, last question. Question 8. What is your favorite science fiction book? If pressed, I guess I would have to say Alistair Reynolds' House of Suns. Now, this might not remain true if I were to reread it today. I've only read it the one time years ago, but it absolutely blew me away. I would say it's my favorite space opera, certainly my favorite space opera. Great world building. It's not a perfect novel by far. I have some issues with it. Um, and I might be a little biased because, again, Reynolds was one of the first authors I read and quickly became my favorite, and this would be one of the first science fiction books I read. But it's similar to China Miéville's Perdido Street Station. This is a book that just does not leave my mind. I think about it a lot. For the characters, I named a cat after one of the characters in this book. The one who's often annoying me when I'm trying to film these. So I'd say my favorite is House of Suns. I couldn't do it justice trying to review it. It's absolutely great world building. A lot of great chase scenes, interrogation / torture scenes, which is kind of unexpected. There's a lot of different, really unique characters in this. A lot of great scenes, memorable scenes. Yeah, I'd have to say House of Suns is probably my favorite, certainly the one I think about a lot when it comes to some of my favorite science fiction novels. I do suspect if I were to reread it, probably the issues I had with it the first time around would be highlighted again. I don't know if I'd call it my favorite if I read it again, but for the time being, this is certainly my favorite science fiction novel. And with that, we come to an end. That is my first tag. That's the first one I've come across that really seemed to fit my channel, so I decided to do it. And I'm glad I did. It made me think. I had forgotten about the Isaac Asimov short story until I really started thinking about it. It does pop into my mind now and then, like I said, but so I reread it before doing this video and I enjoyed it. Feel free to let me know, like, what's your favorite short story science fiction novel, because I'll probably check them out. As always, thanks for watching.